DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine.
Oi. Hey, folks. Yes, welcome to episode 10 of my DeanZine LiveStream. And as usual, things got really, really hectic towards the end. I was trying to remember all the stuff I'm supposed to do. But I'm here, and I'm glad to see you folks have arrived as well. Let's see what's going on across the planet. Hey, there's Will Tacker from Manchester. Good to see you, Will. Appreciate all the nice comments. And Stephen Whittier from Norwich, and Donna from Norwich. Let's see, we got Kate and Karen from Burnham-on-Sea, and wherever that is. John from Somerset. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see there. Andy from Sheffield. You know, I don't know if they had the Romper Room in the UK, but Romper Room was a kid's show in the United States. And she would have her magic wand, her looking glass, and she'd say, and I see Steve Boyd from Scotland, and I see Trace from Brooklyn, just like that. So I feel a little bit like I'm on Romper Room. And there's Cheryl from Shropshire. That's kind of a alliterative, Cheryl from Shropshire. Good to know. Hello, everybody. Hey, Gordon. And Boris and Andy and Tim and Nigel. And goodness, there's just a whole bunch of you folks. Hello. Nice to see you all. Things are a little flip-blunted. There's a fly flying around the studio, buzzing past me every now and then. And so if you see me going like this, it's because I'm trying to catch the fly Karate Kid style. Not going to actually happen, but just giving you fair warning. She had a magic mirror. That's right, David, from Romper Room. And boy, I was in love with her then. And hey, Ben, thank you for those kind remarks. And Janet, you know what? As we're getting started, if you folks wouldn't mind just sharing this live feed to all your friends, that would be great, because we could, spread the word through the worldwide interweb. And let's see what else is going on. Oh, many things, actually. My challenge is going to be to remember all the things that I've got to do on today's show, because there are many of them, but it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to our guest today, Chris McDaniel, an amazing, award-winning, rope-tricking, singing cowboy who's going to delight us with his songs and all kinds of stuff, and maybe even show us a little bit of a rope trick, which I'm very much looking forward to. And in the meantime, let's see here. Yeah, folks, it's been a really strange week. I don't have to tell you, across the board. I'm flummoxed, especially in juxtaposition to the amazing space docking that happened hundreds of miles over our heads, while underneath cities are burning and viruses are spreading. It is a strange time on our unusual planet. But in any case, I am here to sing you some songs and try to distract you or give you something to think about. And in the meantime, I think I will start with a song that is not related to the pandemic, but the overall theme is tangentially related. The idea that, that against the better judgment of the scientific community, so many governments are urging people to, go outside. It's okay if millions of you die, but go outside, because otherwise we're going to have to pay for this. And we hate taking money from all the multinationals to feed people. So that's the question, which is, are you ready to go outside? And in spite of the fact that people without the means generally have no choice about sheltering down. And we call them heroes to avoid having to pay them real wages. So, but aside from all that, that brings me to this first song I'm going to sing over there, which is really just a gentle romantic teenage love song from my third album, Rumpled Romeo. But it poses a similar question. So bear with me a second while I make my way over there. If I disappear for briefly, it's because I'm chasing a fly. But in the meantime, here comes. So yes, here's the question. Oh, there, I'm going to move that mic. Aren't you impressed with the awesome production values of the DeanZine LiveStream? As I said, these days poses that perennial question. Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Is your peace of mind in a little bind? Are your cheeks all wet? Do you hesitate? 'Cause you're not quite sure. Would you like to have just a little more time before? Are you ready yet? Is your mind made up? Are you all prepared? Just a little scared to be all grown up? Do you feel secure? Are you very sure? Are you certain that you're old enough for what's in store? Are you ready yet for what's just begun? Do you know with all your heart and soul that he's the one? Are you ready yet? Does it seem alright? Are you pretty calm? Are there any qualms about tonight? Do you feel at ease? Are you self-assured? Are you confident that the choice was made of your own accord? Of your own accord. Are you ready yet? 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 Honestly, I for one am not ready yet. But looking forward to the time that I am. Let's see here. I know Lee Goldinger is going to be pleased about that selection because he's always asking me to play stuff from Rumpled Romeo, my third album, filled with teenage love songs. And this is another one. He was a rumpled Romeo with a 10-speed bike and a stereo. She was a dauntless damsel in a dress with a love light all aglow. Picked her up in a parking lot with a whole bouquet of forget-me-nots, 2 tickets and a gift wrap box of Oreos. love is real. Nothing you can do or say will ever change the way I feel. Ooh, love is real. They went to a picture show. The lights went up and they got to go. He said, well, and she said, I don't know. They put the car in gear and she sat very near. He turned the wheel and she whispered in his ear, so sweet and low. She said, ooh, love is real. Nothing you can do or say will ever change the way I feel. Love is real. They were headed for their destiny. They were headed for a place the ground would yield. They were headed for the baseball field. And as they fell through space, the moonlight touched her face. They found a quiet place where teenage lovers go. They kissed and shed their clothes. She took his hand and held him close. Underneath the bleachers in the dark where the tall grass grows. She said, love is real. Nothing you can do or say will ever change the way I feel. Ooh, love is real. Ooh, love is real. Ooh, love is real. Whoops. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Russ. Let's see. I'm 29, but I still have no intention of going sent to the virus. Good, makes good sense. Thanks so much. Well, thank you. Mind reading, another one of your talents. Yes, Lindsay, I sensed it in the stratosphere there. Okay, so I'm glad to hear things are working so far. And yes, I probably do need a haircut. And I'll ask Allison to give me a little touch up. So let's see what's next on the agenda. Yes, I know what's next on the agenda. We had a contest last week. And it was through the good graces of my pals Cartmore Building Supplies. And if you recall, the contest was to win 12 square meters of artificial grass. And we're going to give away to that very special winner. If you'll recall that the contest posed the question, bear with me a second. Yes. Who won the Celtic Nations light flyweight title in Glenross back in January of this year? And the answer could be found in the news section of cartmore.com. And I'll see if I can find that section. Bear with me a section. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, I knew this is one of the things I forgot to do and didn't. Yeah, I'm going to, let's see, get rid of this. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to try to share this page. Okay, bear with me a second. Yes, okay. So what am I doing? Okay, here, I'm going to share the screen just to show you the answer to the question. And it is the answer to the question, who won the Celtic Nations light flyweight title in Glenlis back in January this year? The answer is Emma McCulloch from Blachgelly wins this Celtic national flyweight title. There she is with Gordon Banks, director of Cartmore. And they support her efforts. And look at her fighting stance. That's very, very cool. So I thought you would enjoy that. And so here comes our drawing. Okay. Many people sent in the answer of Emma as the answer. And here comes the winner of, I can't believe, 12 square meters. Can you believe, of artificial grass, which you can use to carpet your living room, bedroom, lawn, or whatever suits your fancy. The winner is Robert Rice from Hextable, Kent. There you go, Robert Rice from Hextable, Kent. You have won 12 square meters. Now, I'll send you an email, get your shipping address, and you'll be good to go. And for the rest of you good folks, I just want to say thank you to the good folks at Cartmore Building Supplies and Landscaping. If you're in Scotland or anywhere in that neck of the woods and you're building something or taking care of your lawn, give them a shout. They're good folks. And as it says, they're good at what they do. Oops. Okay. Okay, so what's next? What's next? I'll tell you what's next. What's next is a new contest. That's right. What's next is a new contest, and this is a contest that is going to require you to go visit the pandemic, or not the pandemic, the pandemonium, which was meant to be a pun on pandemic, the pandemonium order page on my website. And some folks know that get my newsletters that for the last few weeks I've been doing offering Dean video greetings, because folks all the time asking me if I would record a little greeting or send a message to someone for an anniversary or for a birthday or for what have you, some kind of event, whatever the event may be. So I am going to give away a free video greeting to the winner of this next contest. And so let me explain the rules of this contest for this video greeting. Now, on that page, in the video greeting page, somewhere on that page, it's a page in the order section of my website. If you go to deanfriedman.com, find the order section, and right below the CDs and T-shirts and merch, you'll see a link for the Pandemonium page, which is the video greetings, but also courses that are online, video online courses for my songwriting masterclass, either one-on-one private lessons or group lessons for the songwriting masterclass based on my book, the Songwriter's Handbook. There's also the video greetings. There's Dean, how exactly do you play the song video? And there's the general video consult. So somewhere on that page, there is I answer an offer to answer pressing questions about world politics, global finances, pandemic virology, and the mating habits of what? That's the question. If you send me an email to dean@deanfriedman.com answering what the mating habits of what creature are listed on my Pandemonium webpage, then I will next week pull out the winner out of those possible correct answers for a free video greeting for any occasion of your choice. And it's like about 30 to 60 seconds. I know it sounds strange, but I've been doing them for weeks now, and they're a lot of fun. People seem to get a kick out of them. So that's this week's contest. And frankly, I don't even know if it's legal to do these contests, but you will keep it amongst your friends. So there again, go to the Pandemonium order page on DeanFriedman.com and tell me what mating habits are described, or what creature will be explained. The mating habits of. Oh boy. Okay. Yes, that's the contest. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Folks that have been watching the DeanZine live stream for a while now know that one of my favorite singer-songwriters and comedians as well is the great Boothby Grapho. And Boothby did something this week where he went viral, and I'm pleased to share it with you because I think you'll get a kick out of it. And I want to say up front that there is a parental advisory because there are some obscenities, modest ones. Well, I mean, depends on whatever. Anyway, so this is my friend Boothby's response to some of the recent goings on over in the UK. And I hope you will enjoy this, and I urge you to go check this video clip out and all the other video clips that Boothby does, and to follow him on Twitter. I'll give you that link in just a minute, but first let me show you Boothby's video, which so far has got like over 250,000 views on Twitter. Here it comes. Cover your children's ears and enjoy the stylings of Boothby Grapho.
We make the rules, we break the rules, it's all your fault, you stupid fools. We make the rules, we break the rules, that's fuck all you can do. We make the law, we break the law, you didn't see what you just saw, cause we're all rich and you're all poor, that's fuck all you can do. We make mistakes, we don't confess, we fuck it up, then blame the press. We call the mess a world success, that's fuck all you can do. We sell the lies, you buy the lies, we don't have to apologise. We have to drive to test our eyes, that's fuck all you can do. We're all the same, we're all the same, we're all the same. We don't do shame, we'll take the fame, but not the blame, that's fuck all you can do. We make the law, we break the law, we break the law, we make the law. We're what you fucking voted for, that's fuck all you can do. Did you hear Matt Hancock say 100,000 tests a day? We haven't hit it yet, but hey, that's fuck all you can do. I'm in the shed, I'm off my head, I fucking hate banana bread, I fucking hate banana bread, I really fucking do.
There is the great Boothby Grapho expressing himself as only he can. And folks, if you enjoyed that, I urge you to go follow Boothby on Twitter, and his Twitter address is @BoobyGrapho, and you'll be glad that you did. Also, Boothby just launched a GoFundMe campaign because, like all other artists, Boothby has lost his main source of income, which is touring, like me. And so you can, if you enjoyed that song, you can support Boothby's latest subversive effort here at this URL. It's shorturl.at/CH15. So write that down and support the indie efforts of Boothby, saying what so many people feel. And you'll be glad that you did. Enjoy Boothby. Also, if you go to Boothby's Twitter page, you'll also discover an interesting scenario whereby he had to confront someone or something who broke into his place, and it all ends very sweetly. You'll enjoy it, and it's completely G-rated. You don't have to cover anyone's ears or eyes. Okay. what else is going on here? Methinks that might be an occasion to follow up with maybe some cat playing videos by my son Sam. So stand by, and I'm going to play actually not one but 3 videos of Sam's that I know you will enjoy. And here's the first one. And for folks, any folks that have a cat or something that resembles a cat, this is an instructional video, and it will give you some insight into Sam's technique for training Fatty and Skinny. Those are the 2 cats that he and Hannah share the house with. And so here's the first one, and this will teach you how to train your cat to play the piano. See, now it's not that complicated. A little encouragement, it always helps the educational process. And if you do it right, this is an example of some of the results that you can expect by gently encouraging your cat with a little bit of demonstration and encouragement. And this was what my And you can imagine how proud Allison and I, as Sam's parents, are of all the education and college and schooling that went into Sam teaching, being able to teach his cat to play the piano. Now, I did suggest that by patiently engaging in this practice, you could wind up with very pleasing results. But I do need to qualify, but that sometimes this could happen. Yes. So, folks, if you enjoyed Sam's cat piano play cat videos, follow him on TikTok, Sammy Asher Music, at Sammy Asher Music, or subscribe to Sam on YouTube.com/Sammy Asher. And he's doing more and more postings of these goings on. So thank you, Sam. And Hannah for looking after the cats and everything in the house. Okay. So it's come to that time where I am so pleased to introduce our special musical guest for today's show, episode 10 of DeanZine LiveStream. I can't believe it's been 10 weeks doing this. And I appreciate you good folks that have been hanging out there as long as you have. And before I bring him on, I want to play a little bit of video to help introduce the amazing Chris McDaniel. So bear with me just a second and stay tuned as here he is. You're going to enjoy this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage 2-time world record holder, Chris McDaniel. McDaniel. Give a man enough rope. Give a man enough rope. And he can hang himself or not. That is the choice that he has got. He could wind up hanging down from a tree. Or he could spin himself a life that's happened to me. Give a man enough rope. 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 And two guys a pile of dough. One spins it fast, one spins it slow. You make a choice, up to you what you do. This acting was go through it. I've met lots of folks and I got to meet you. Everybody spins with a different twist. Some use elbow race and just flick the wrist. You want two men for a great big old welcome rope. Just let her go. Never let them see you there. Never clear you. They sweat inside the beat. Never there. Or cheers you. Go for a jump, shrug it off. It's nothing, folks. Give a man enough rope. Give a man enough rope. Give a man enough rope. Fly into the sky, I might rush for that old pot of gold. He might not reach the rainbow's end because my friend, the world is round, or so we're told. Well, folks, here comes the fancy footwork portion of my song. I hope I run the thing. Another lift to fill the soil. That was it. Or maybe sell man on oil. One goes far, one lights it on. One gives it in, one is school. But from the day I came along, I've always been open to me. Believe it or not, trip rovers from around the world, thank you, used to get together every year for our annual Ropers Convention. And while we're out in Las Vegas, we used to talk about old times, we'd learn a few new tricks, and we'd have a contest or two. Now, I'm proud to tell you folks that back in 1996, I became the Texas Skip World Champion. Now, judging from your response, you have no idea what the heck the Texas Skip is, and that's understandable, but I'm going to change that right now. You see, folks, this is what we call the Texas Skip, and I won the contest for jumping through this here circle 401 times without stopping. After the contest was over, as I was laying there, I came up with a brand new name for this. I don't call it the Texas Skip anymore. I call that cowboy aerobics. It's a big one. And he can get all tangled in. The 40 feet he tries to spin, but I've had luck. And my rope made me free. I spun my fancy figures, wrote my stories, worked my magic, loved my critters, loved my family, spun a lovely life. That's what happened to me. So here we go. 40-0. Give a man enough rope. I got more rope, see? I gotta do the fancy stuff. Chris McDaniel, ladies and gentlemen.
Unbelievable. That's amazing. So here I am. I'm pleased to welcome the amazing Chris McDaniel, folks, here on the DeanZine LiveStream. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
Howdy, Dean. Good to be
Great.
here.
Oh, great to see you. Those rope tricks you're doing while singing that terrific song. That was really just amazing.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, so I'm real eager to learn more about how you wind up doing all this terrific stuff. Well, let me ask you that actually, because I'd love to hear you play some songs as well. How did you first wind up learning to do all that amazing stuff?
Well, that's kind of a long story, actually, but
Okay.
it goes way back, way back. I was a vocal performance major in college, and never really. Now, this is going to sound like a long way around to get to the answer, but it's pretty necessary.
Okay.
I was sort of a music snob. I liked classic rock, and I liked jazz, and I studied classical and opera in college. But country music was not my favorite. Let's just put it that way. And late in my college career, I heard Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers, the popular country act back in the 70s and 80s. And they blew me away. I loved their music, loved their harmonies. And so I got into country music, wound up working in Nashville in Opryland, and had a little band called Palomino. We did trio harmonies like the Gatlin Brothers, and had a little bit of success in Nashville, and then broke my leg pretty severely. Stopped performing for a while, and started doing sound engineering. I mixed sound. And that was kind of the secondary passion of mine. Ever since I'd been a singer, I decided I wanted to find out how sound equipment worked and how to make it sound the best. So I began mixing sound, and one thing led to another, and I ended up mixing sound for Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it came all the way full circle. And during that time, Larry was cast as the third Will Rogers in the musical The Will Rogers Follies on Broadway. And during the time I was with him, he had to learn the script and the music, and he also had to learn how to trick rope. And Larry always loved company whenever he had to do anything, and nobody else in the band was interested in trick roping except me. And I was very interested in it. I saw Vince Bruce. Larry had a tape of Vince Bruce, who was the trick roper who was in the Broadway production and probably the greatest trick roper of our generation. I saw his cabaret act, fell in love with it. I was about ready to get back into performing, and I'd always wanted to have my own act. I was an actor and a singer, but I was tired of auditioning for people, and I had tried juggling, and I wasn't that good a juggler. I'd tried being a magician to sell myself as a magician, and never really found a character. And I went with Larry to his first trick roping lesson. He said, "Hey, I got a lesson with this championship trick roper. Would you like to come with me?" And I said, "Sure."
Pass that up.
Yeah. So we got together with a fellow named G. McLaughlin out at Knott's Berry Farm. He was performing there while we were doing a concert there. And he gave me my first rope and my first trick roping lesson. And I was hooked on it. When Larry went to Broadway, I went back to Opryland Show Park at that time and had a strolling gig as a gold prospector, which looked close enough like a cowboy that I could get away with walking around the park all day, taking photos with people, and also practicing my trick roping. So I practiced my trick roping, and about a year later, Opryland gave me my own show as a character called Grizzly Jack. And I did basically the same arrangement, the same choreography that you just saw in Give a Man Enough Rope, which is from the Will Rogers Follies. I did that with the rope tricks choreographed to the song, and that kind of became my signature, and it's evolved ever since then. It's been about 30 years now.
Well,
like I said,
that's really outrageous. You know what?
Oh, sorry.
You had some questions, Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Christina, I was looking for a new hobby.
Yeah.
Bro asks, can you use a washing line?
You can use almost anything. And I do give lessons. But I got to tell you, trick roping is one of the most difficult physical manipulation skills that I have ever attempted. And I've tried juggling, and I also do whips. Whips is a lot easier to learn.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that are easier to learn than trick roping, but it's very few people do it anymore. So I would encourage anybody out there who's interested to get in touch with me, and we'll get you roping.
Good idea, and we'll give folks contact details. And I know that you're going to give us a little insight in a while about your rope tricking, but I'd love to hear another song. And this is by one of our favorite songwriters. Would you introduce it?
Sure. Well, this is. I don't know if this is really that appropriate for a time such as this, because it's a little bit of dark humor, but that's what John Prine is known for, is his humor in his songs. And this one just has been one of my favorites for a long time, and it's not one of his more well-known songs, but it speaks to my passion for being an organ donor.
All righty, here we go. Chris McDaniel singing a great John Prine tune. Here you go, buddy.
Woke up this morning, put on my slippers, walked in the kitchen and died. And oh, what a feeling when my soul went through the ceiling and on up into heaven I did ride. When I got there, they did say, Chris, it happened this way. You slipped upon the floor and hit your head. And all the angels say, just before you passed away, these were the very last words that you said. Please don't bury me down in the cold, cold ground. I'd rather have them cut me up, pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane. The blind can have my eyes, and the deaf can take both of my ears if they don't mind the size. Give my stomach to Milwaukee if they run out of beer. Put my socks in a cedar box, just get them out of here. Peanuts to Milo can have my arms, look out, I got your nose. Sell my heart to the junk man, but give my love to Rose. Oh, and please don't bury me down in the cold, cold ground. I'd rather have them cut me up, pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane. The blind can have my eyes, and the deaf can take both of my ears if they don't mind the size. Give my feet to the footloose, the careless, fancy-free. Give my knees to the needy. Don't pull that stuff on me. Hand me down my walking cane. It's a sin to tell a lie. Send my mouth way down south and kiss my ass goodbye. Oh, but please don't bury me down in the cold, cold ground. I'd rather have them cut me up, pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane. The blind can have my eyes, and the deaf can take both of my ears if they don't mind the size. I'm saying I got big ears, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, be an organ donor,
man.
Be an organ donor.
That's great. Lots of same thing happened. Well, we'll see if we get to that. That's great to hear, man. And
well, I do have to say I'm more comfortable with a rope in my hand than a guitar. I'm late to the guitar. I noticed, I read in your bio that you bought a guitar when you with a bag of quarters you'd been saving and been playing since you was a kid. But
that's true.
But I haven't been. I took piano lessons in school and played the trombone and played bass, but guitar I'm still trying to get the hang of.
Well, I wouldn't have known. It sounded awful fine to me. And you got a lot of nice comments as well. And folks, if you want to learn more about Chris McDaniel and his doings, I urge you all to go visit his website, chrismcdaniel.net, and or go to YouTube, type Chris McDaniel rope tricks, and you'll find all kinds of awesome footage of Chris doing what he does. It's really, really cool. And
yeah, on that website, it's old as it can be, but it is good for the contact page. So
well, listen, my website is as old as it can be too.
That's all you need.
Got a lot of nice, good feedback here. That's really, really cool. And we need our dark humor at the moment. That's for sure. I couldn't agree more. Let's see here. So you mentioned you're going to show us some a little bit, give us a little insight into rope tricking. Could you do so?
Well, you
don't have much room there, but I'd love to see some.
You've kind of already seen it now, but you asked me if I could do a rope trick in here, and I'm staying with my older brother and my sister-in-law, and I'm staying in a tiny little bedroom. But I did figure out there was something I could do. I've got this tiny rope here.
Cool.
What I'm going to do is a little technique called the butterfly, and I've got a bed right here that I'm sitting on, so I'm going to try to do this above the bed, and where you can see it, it's going 2 loops in one direction and 2 loops in the other, and that kind of keeps the kinks out. I'm just going to do a little bit. I can't do much in here, but I can do
wow.
Yes. Oops.
All right, that's so cool. So it looks like you just
was supposed to actually let me try that one more time.
Okay.
Give that one more shot. We're gonna see if we can do this right. Bed there, gotta hold it up high. Nope, still didn't get it. Oh well.
I assure our viewers, you're not going to see this on any other live stream today or this week or any other time. That's really, really cool. So, someone, I think, half jokingly asked if you could use a clothesline, but you said that you could. What is there a certain gauge of rope that?
Well, clothesline's a little thin, but people and I can put a plug in. There's a company called westernstageprops.com.
Okay.
They're my good friends, and they sell a video that I made, a DVD that I made about rope tricks, and they sell the ropes too. We use a sash cord in American style roping, which is a lot softer than you'd think it would be.
Okay.
The Mexicans actually started this, and they use a very stiff rope. It's a much slower style. This actually was the same kind of rope that Will Rogers used on vaudeville, and this gauge it's a 12 or 13 gauge. It's about a 1/4 inch, I think. And like I said, we use a braided sash cord cotton rope. It's very soft. The thing is, you don't want kinks in the rope. That's what'll mess you up worst of all. And when we're doing a rope trick, what the heck? When we're doing a rope trick like the flat loop, which is the basic rope trick that you would do, the thing is that if I stand here and do this for a while and hold the rope tight, it's going to get twisted up on me. So if you can see the back side of my hand, you may notice that every time my wrist makes a circle, my fingers are working pretty hard to twist the rope. You can see the end of the rope turning.
Oh, wow.
I almost dropped it. That
is amazing.
All
right, so you're getting rid of that kink, keeping it stable.
Keeping it kink free, because if the kink gets down to that, what we call a Honda, the slip knot that's on there, it'll tie it up and you won't be able to trick rope anymore. You'll be pretty much done. It'll get all kinky and twisted up. The move I did before was actually balanced, and I was putting in 2 kinks on one side and taking them out on the other.
Wow.
At the butterfly. But that's probably the most difficult thing to master, is that twisting it with your fingers. But then every trick you learn after that just takes tons of practice.
Awesome.
It takes more repetition than about anything I know. Although, like I said, my guitar playing has taken quite a few repetitions for me. So.
Well, Chris, I just want to confirm, you mentioned the website before. Is that it? westernstageprops.com? Is that
Yes, it is. And they will be happy to help you out with any of what we call the Western arts, which are trick roping, whips, gun spinning, knife throwing, the rodeo arts, the things you traditionally see at a rodeo or a Wild West show, and they sell the props that you need and the instruction that you need. Or get in touch with me in person, personally, and I'll be glad to get you on the road to doing that.
That's so cool. Thank you for that, Chris. You know, I suspect that there are a few people out there thinking to themselves, Dean, what does rope tricks and Western arts have to do with all the pop songs that you sing? And I most people will understand the connection, but for those that don't, I got to tell you, you mentioned Western arts. Well, it's all an art form, and it's all showbiz. And those things are connected in some respects. They're not the same. A show is a show. When you get up on stage and there's an audience in front of you to entertain, you do what you need to do, and you find a way to express it with joy and love and whatever creativity and talent you bring to bear. So I just love seeing what you do and hearing you explain it, because there's such nuance and subtlety, in what it is you're doing. And, we used to growing up as kids watching cowboys on TV, it seems simple as pie. I used to watch Sky King. Remember that? He'd fly around in his single prop plane, and he had a niece named Penny. I had a little bit of a crush on Penny. But anyway, so that's really cool. So, Chris, I'd love to hear another song, even with your inadequate guitar playing, which I say facetiously because you sound pretty fine to me.
Well, and I had mentioned another song that I was going to do, but I decided against that one because of our current times. So I'm going to do this one instead. It was written by Tim Spencer and Bob Nolan, and they, along with a fellow named Leonard Sly, you know him better by his stage name, Roy Rogers.
All righty. Okay.
Those formed probably the quintessential cowboy group for just about everybody, I guess. And I thought I'd play this one. Let me just I'm a little bit dry.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
All right. Well, I'll leave my viewers in your capable hands. Here he is, the amazing offerings and stylings of Chris McDaniel. Here you go, buddy.
Too much pressure. All day I face the barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. Old Dan and I, with throats burned dry and souls that cry for water, cool, clear water. Keep a-moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man. He spreads the burning sand with water, water. Dan, can't you see that big green tree where the water's running free and it's waiting there for you and me? Water, water, cool water, clear water, water. Now, there's a whole bunch of verses to this song, but I'm going to not do that to you. I'm going to skip right to my favorite verse. And by the way, if you hadn't figured it out yet, Dan's his horse. Dan's feet are sore. He's yearning for just one thing more than water. Cool water. Like me, I guess he'd like to rest where there's no quest for water, water, cool water, clear
water, 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 cool water, clear water, water, water.
All right, that was lovely. That was really cool.
Made me thirsty.
Well, you wet your whistle,
Okay.
as they say, and I just want you to know, folks are really enjoying it. Here's Paul. It is amazing you could twirl in such tight confines, but it is nice to have a comfy place in a lockdown.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. Really enjoy all the rope tricks, story, and singing. Lindsay says, I spoil you. Whatever next. The mind boggles. It does. Lots of fun. Here's Rob Pattison has some insightful comment. He loves a good kink. These things always look easier than they are. That's true enough. That's true enough, Ivy. Let's see, what risk action reminds me of another song of yours I was listening to this afternoon. Something I won't mention yes, Nookie in the Mail, of course. Yeah, I don't know if I'm prepared to do that today, but who knows? We'll see what happens. But well, point. It's true. If anyone asked you what you're going to learn today, Lindy, they probably would not have guessed. And let's see. I see. Oh, yeah, your dad sings that one sometimes. That's very cool. And Fiona says mine too. Awesome.
Cool.
Well, again, folks, I urge you to check out more of what Chris is up to, Chris McDaniel. And if anyone needs some online rope trick lessons, you go check it out with Chris, and I might follow up myself, as a matter of fact. There is one thing I wanted to do. I'm going to ask you to do another song, Chris, but first, I neglected to do this earlier, but I'm going to do it right now, which is that we've been doing, very bravely, I mentioned to you when we spoke, these sing-alongs on the DeanZine LiveStream. And so we're doing a couple later in the show, but I'm going to invite some brave listeners to join us. And it's really easy to do. We only have room for about a few people, but if you would like, just pop this URL into your browser on your laptop or computer, or even on your smartphone, and just in the browser section, type in. I'll read it out. It's www.streamyard.com /YZNXUCWPFY. Anyone that wants to join us in this sing along, just pop that URL into the browser, and you'll be able to join us, log on. You know what? I'll even post it. Bear with me a second here. This is one of the amazing things. It looks like Paul Birnbaum's joining us. That's great. Hi, Paul. Stand by and stay backstage. We're going to see you in a bit later. I'm going to even go to, let's see here. This is something I should have done earlier, but I'll do it right now on my Dean Friedman music page. I'm going to type in that URL for visitors to join us. Join my sing along. Okay. I don't know why I'm singing Green Acres, but here you go. And I'm just posted that on the Dean Friedman music. It's facebook.com/Dean Friedman music. And there you go. And it'll be there along with the link you're seeing. All right. I should have done that earlier. Okay. So, that's for later for future sing along. And yes, forgive me, Chris. I was doing some show maintenance production that I should have done earlier. Would you favor us with another song?
Oh, sure. This one, I don't know if people know this one or not. My band Palomino, we found this. Our booking agent used to book us in wintertime in the north of Minnesota. And I think we did this song in some little bar down there, up there in all the snow, Southern boys. Anyway, this one, before I talked about my wanting to be an organ donor and encouraging organ donation. But this song is basically, I'm not a big fan of huge cemeteries. And I know some people's religious beliefs dictate that they should be buried whole, but I don't care to take all the parts that you need. And then when you the rest of it, just cremate me. And if you could bury me with some tree seeds or something, and then you can come to my tree and say, there's Chris. But other than that, I don't care to be. This song is kind of a silly song on that same subject. People tell me I ought to save my money so that I could be laid away in style in a walnut box with all the fancy trimmings, vacuum sealed to keep me fresh a while. But send me to glory in a glad bag. Don't waste a fancy coffin on my bones. Just put me out on the curb next Tuesday. Let the sanitation local bear me home. Sell all my worldly possessions and buy yourself a case or two of Pabst. Let the empties be my memorial tombstone. Engrave them with this epitaph. Send me to glory in a glad bag. Don't waste a fancy coffin on my bones. Just put me out on the curb next Tuesday. Let the sanitation local bear me home. If I should die upon the eve of Christmas, just place my baggie neath the Christmas tree. When the children, they open up all their goodies, the big surprise would be the death of me. So send me to glory in a glad bag. Don't waste a fancy coffin on my bones. Just put me out on the curb next Tuesday. Let the sanitation local bear me home. But if I am not bound for glory, and to that other place I would not choose, if it looks like I'm headed in that direction, then an oven bag would be the thing to use. Yes, send me to glory in a glad bag. Don't waste a fancy coffin on my bones. Just put me out on the curb next Tuesday. Let the sanitation local bear me home. Let the sanitation local bear me home.
That was hilarious. That was great, Chris.
Thank you very much.
You probably can't see it while you're singing, but you got lots of really great comments, and people appreciate that sentiment. Exactly. And also recyclable and conservation oriented is part of that ethos. Now, Paul is waiting to backstage to join us for a sing-along, but apparently everyone's a little timid to join the show. So I'm going to invite once more folks to type in this URL or go to my Facebook page, and I posted the new URL to join the show. All you have to do is pop it into Oh, there we go. Stephen and Chrissy, how you doing? The Hearsts are there as well backstage. All right, well, then you guys can help us sing along. It's good to see you all. So let's see here. Here's Paul. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Hi, Dean. You know, if those guys mute their Facebook and YouTube stuff, this is actually better in sync with your video.
I'm so pleased to hear it. That's good. Let me just raise this level a little bit. But as long as you can hear us, it's okay. And I'm going to bring in the Hearsts. How you doing, guys? Can you hear me?
Hi, Dean. How you doing?
Dean.
It's great to see you folks. Now, Paul, a moment ago, you posted something about what your mom had said.
I
What
did.
was it again?
She requested. There it is.
Okay, that Paul's mom requested to be cremated and have her ashes dispersed on the horse trail, which she loved to go ride, which she did 16 years ago. That's a very sweet sentiment, and thank you for sharing that. That's very cool. Let's see here. All right, so we got enough folks for a sing along. Now, in honor of you, Chris. Oh, we got some else coming here. The device is not connected. Let's see if they are online yet. Oh, there's Chazzy. Let me see Chazzy. Hey, Chazzy, how you doing there?
I'm good.
Can you
thanks.
hear
How
me?
are you?
Well, thank you for joining us. That's great. I think we definitely got a room for a sing along. So, Chris, in your honor, I want to play some of my country western songs that I wrote for a TV show that those folks in the UK know called Boone. And I did the soundtrack music for that for about 5 years. A lot of people don't know that I was in their living rooms for all that time, doing the songs in the end credit and all the instrumental music and playing that harmonica stuff. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that's right. That's Boone. That was me in my studio. And of course, I couldn't record those tracks without my cowboy hat. And so I'm going to grab my guitar. There you go. All right. All right. Here we're all set. Now, if I had more experience like you, Chris, I would have known to put my guitar on before the cowboy hat.
Exactly.
But I'm still learning. So let's see here. I just want to get at the lyrics to this song here. And the song, some folks might know from the TV series Boone. And this is a song. It's kind of a call and response. And I'm going to invite everyone to sing along on screen, and also everyone watching. All you folks out there in land, sitting on the sofas or wherever you're hanging out in your hammock, enjoying this show, I urge you to sing along, because singing is good for the soul and for the digestion and for every other good part of your life health. And so here it goes. The Texas Rangers, Texas toughest man. The Texas Rangers, there they ride. Oh, wait a minute. Look, I meant to. That's embarrassing. What I meant to do was play this song instead. Hold on. See, that's what happens when you're producing your own show. Okay, here we go again. All right, so everybody repeat after me. Here's how it goes. He's my friend.
He's my friend.
He's my friend.
He's my buddy.
He's
my buddy.
Good. That's good. Till the end. Till the end. Through thick and thin. Thick and thin. Oh, the road.
Though the road
may be muddy. Maybe muddy. Now, when you sing muddy, you got to go muddy. Muddy. There you go. That's right. Side by, and together we do all this together, even though there's a delay. Side by side, we'll trudge on with a grin. That's it. And then so just repeat after me for most of it, except for that side by side, we'll trudge on with a grin. We share our booze.
We share
our booze.
We share our women.
share our
women.
We share our money. We
We
share
share
our
our money.
We share our fun.
We share our
fun.
fun.
Whether we lose,
Whether we lose,
him,
Whether we
whether
win,
we
win. It's just him and me when all
Just him and me.
because he's my friend. He's my friend.
he's my
Because he's
friend.
my friend.
He's my
He's my
buddy.
friend.
He's my
buddy.
Till the end.
till the end.
Thick and thin.
Through
thick
thick
and
and
thin.
thin.
The road
Though the road
may be muddy.
may be muddy,
Side by side, we'll trudge on with a grin.
With a
One
grin.
time
I didn't hear it.
in San Antonio, we won a bundle at 5-card draw. Then we lost it all at the rodeo on the ugliest bull I ever saw. Well, he's my friend.
he's my
He's my friend.
He's my buddy.
He's my buddy.
Till the end.
till the end.
Thick and thin.
Thick and thin.
Oh, the road.
Though the
The
road
road.
Maybe muddy.
may be muddy,
Side
side by
side, we'll trudge on with a grin.
With a grin.
Now, Chris, you know that in these country western songs, there's always a girl, and usually her name's Loretta.
Loretta.
Yeah, that's right. And usually it spells disaster. There was a girl,
There was a girl.
There was a girl.
name of Loretta.
Name of Loretta.
She said, "Choose
He said, choose
between him or me."
between him or me.
Well, I jumped
Well, I
Well, I jumped.
right out of bed. I said,
jumped out of bed.
"Gotta go. It's been grand. Here's your key." And he's my friend.
He's
He's my friend.
He's my buddy.
He's
He's my buddy.
Till the end.
Till the end.
Through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin.
Though the road
The road
may be muddy.
may be muddy.
Side by side.
Side by side.
We'll trudge on.
We'll trudge
Excellent.
Very good. Nice to see you, Dean.
Oh,
All right. Uh-oh.
John didn't join us early enough, and I didn't get a chance to do. But hi, John, thanks for coming. Listen, I want to thank all the folks who sang along with us, and I'm going to send you folks back off into the real world. Thank you, Paul, for singing along. Thank you, the Hearst, Stephen Chrissy. Thank you, Chaz. And Chris, I want to thank you for being such a good sport and joining us on our sing along and sharing your music and your awesome award-winning rope tricking and about your life. And it's been a pleasure to meet you and to work with you. I look forward to some time on the road if I ever get south. To maybe even sharing the stage with you. And
You know, I love New York City, and maybe someday I'll get to come to one of your shows in New York City. I've been a huge fan since back in '77 with your first album, and then Well Said, The Rocking Chair. So it's been an extreme pleasure and an honor to be on your show today.
oh, that's really nice of you to say, man. It's been delightful. Once again, let me remind our listeners to go visit Chris McDaniel's website, chrismcdaniel.net, and go check out his DVD, which you can get at westernstageprops.com. Look for his rope trick video. Anyway, Chris, thanks again. Been a pleasure, man. You be well, and catch you down the line, all right?
Thank you, Dean. Stay safe.
You too, man. Chris McDaniel. All righty. Gee, goodness gracious. Well, you know what? I started playing a song that I realized was not actually a sing along until I started playing it. But I'm going to give it a shot here, just because in the spirit of rope tricks and cowboys, and this is from the TV series Boone. The Texas Rangers, Texas toughest man. The Texas Rangers, there they ride again. They ride in thunder, they ride in rain. It makes one wonder if they feel no pain. They never falter, they never fail. They hang their halter on a rusty nail. The Texas Rangers, Texas toughest men. The Texas Rangers, there they ride again. They never slow down, they never smile. And in a showdown, they fight Texas style. In any tough spot, those boys come through. They grew up on buckshot and cactus stew. The Texas Rangers, Texas toughest men. The Texas Rangers, there they ride again. Arresting outlaws and fighting crime. They get their man every time. And all them bad guys know of their fame. It makes them nervous just to hear their name. The Texas Rangers, Texas toughest men. The Texas Rangers, there they ride again. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, actually, let me you know what, I'll keep this guitar on, and got another video to play for you good folks. Something I'm glad you enjoyed that, Edward. That was great fun working on the TV series Boone. Thank you, Roger. I think I should wear that hat. I definitely will consider that. Thank you, Elaine. And thank you, Christina, for helping us out with the singing. Takes a while to process exactly what's happening in front of our eyes every Sunday. It takes your mind off, you know what. I'm pleased. Well, you know what? Actually, I have a video to play for you for a delightful singer-songwriter who was my guest on the very first episode of DeanZine LiveStream, and lots of folks keep asking about her. And she put out a live video of one of her songs, and I'm going to play it for you now because it's just sublime and perfect. Soothing piece that she sang in the church at a concert before the lockdown. So everyone sit back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful song by the lovely Charlotte Campbell.
You used to be the one with the sparkle. Where did it go? Did you give it away? You used to be the one with the answers. You used to know all the right things to say. I don't believe that you lose it. Your heart doesn't break, you can only bruise it. So if you're not doing so well, it's only you who can tell. Don't you think that it would be so much easier not being hard on yourself? You used to be the one with the sparkle. Where did it go? You look tired today. You can't have it all, or so they tell you. The cracks start to show. Are you feeling okay? You don't have to prove that you're perfect. Don't ever doubt that you're more than worth it. Oh, if you're not doing so well, it's only you who can tell. Don't you think that it would be so much easier not being hard on yourself when it feels like the weight of the world is on your back? You carry it with so much grace, and you'll never lose that. So if you're not doing so well, it's only you who can tell. Don't you think that it would be so much easier not being hard on your... If you're not doing so well, it's only you who can tell. Don't you think that it would be so much easier not being hard on yourself? So don't be so hard on yourself.
Anyway, I told you it was a beautiful song you had in store. So Charlotte Campbell, go to her website and check her out and support her efforts. Listen to her just lovely songs. And at charlottecampbell.co.uk. I had a number of other things. Oh, I did want to, I don't want to forget that next week's show is going to be a special DeanZine, a DeanZine that's going to be an all request show. And it's just going to be me playing guitar and piano, singing a bunch of songs. And the set list is going to be comprised of songs that you folks suggest. So you guys are going to curate my set for me. And it's a ticketed show. Unlike all the other DeanZines where, you pay what you want or not. This is a ticketed show. And folks, as I say, get to submit their 3 favorite songs that they'd like to be in the set list. And I'm going to build a set list out of that. I'm into doing it because we've already sold a lot of tickets. And it's only a week away. And because I have, minimal means of promoting and spreading the word here, I'm hoping you good folks, if you haven't already purchased those tickets, will get on board for next week's very special all request DeanZine LiveStream. And you can find it in the regular gig section of my website. Go to deanfriedman.com, click on the gig link, and at the very top of the gig listings, you'll see this all request DeanZine LiveStream. And it's I think the tickets are like £7.50, which is about $9 US. And also it's going to be a Zoom, my first Zoom cast. So I'm a little nervous about it because I'm not using the same tools that I'm using now, which I'm obviously so adept at, as you can see. But I'll be able to see you guys, more of you, and we'll have a good time. We'll have a lot of fun. So get your tickets for this special all request DeanZine LiveStream next Sunday, June 7th, right here, wherever you are in the UK or New York or around the world. And I urge you to do so. It'll be good to see everybody. We'll have a good time. Now there was one other thing that I did want to say, by the way, that the tickets are free to folks who are subscribers to the DeanZine LiveStream, and folks have been subscribing a modest amount at different tiers of your choice on a monthly basis. It helps make it more predictable for me to be able to dedicate time and budget and plan and prepare for this weekly show, because despite my slapstick production values, it actually takes more time than any of you would imagine. And so your efforts are always appreciated. Or you can just do a one-time contribution at paypal.me/Dean Friedman or via Venmo at Dean Friedman Music. Yeah, thanks for supporting indie music. These are all the commercials that I neglect to do until the very last minute. But I hope you'll consider lending a hand and being part of it. It's drawing towards the end of the show, but there is a special video that I wanted to show you. I left it till the end because there's a remote chance that the show might be blocked as it has in the past. Because let me explain. Some folks, one of those common interview questions is how I became a musician and wind up doing what I did, what I do. Along one of the things that I always make a point of saying is that I grew up in a house filled with music. My mom was a singer and was on Broadway and did one feature film before she went and had 4 kids. So I did grow up in a house filled with music. There was always some Broadway show tuned on the piano. And I'm going to show you a picture that my little sister Estelle kindly sent me, which is a still from the movie my mom was in. And the movie is called The Hit Parade of 1951. And there's my mom in the yellow top right there on the side. And it seemed appropriate given all the cowboy songs that we're singing. This is a still from the movie. And I'm going to take a chance and play a little short clip of my mom's appearance. And this was about 5 years before I was born. So she was probably a teenager. And I just thought that you folks would enjoy it because I love seeing it. This is from the Hit Parade of 1951. This is my mom, Rose Rosette, and her singing performance at the Hit Parade of 1951.
You're so nice, you're so neat, you're quite the finest creation I've had the pleasure to meet. You're so big, you're so grand, I've tried all kinds of romances, but you're my favorite brand. Your look, your voice, it's no wonder you're my choice. Love and faith, you're grateful, and that's that hit parade. You're so smooth, you're so sharp. My heart tells me to be careful, but who wants any advice? It's you're so wonderful, and so marvelous,
Awesome. Folks, thank you for joining me for this episode 10 of my DeanZine LiveStream, a slipshod production, if there ever was one. Thank you again to Chris McDaniel for joining me and to Paul and the Hursts for helping out with our background vocals. I will ask you again, you're invited to get join us for this ticketed event, a DeanZine special DeanZine live stream, all request show on this next Sunday, June 7th. Everyone that gets a ticket will get a secret URL to be able to log on. I will replay it about a month later, but if you'd like to be part of it, you're encouraged to join up and get a modest ticket price. And you get one ticket, you could have a room full of people, assuming you've all been in quarantine together, and to watch the show. So it's it'll be a lot of fun, and you're all invited. Thank you again to Cartmore Building Supply and Landscape for contributing 12 square meters of artificial grass. Who would have thought? That's awesome. So anyway, you guys be well, and I'll see some of you next week, and all of you the week after that. So you be well. Oh, wait 1 second. Ugh. Just wanted to introduce you to Murray. If you heard purring during the show, that's because Murray, big orange cat, does a lot of purring and chases a lot of chipmunks. So that's hello to Murray. Murray does not play piano, just to be clear. Everybody, great to see you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream.